Okay, hello. I think we are live. We are live. Let me try to fix this. Okay. All right. Hello. Welcome back. I am out of the loop. You're out of the loop. Let's get into the loop. This is a show where we dive deep into the wild, weird, and wonderfully eccentric corners of the internet. Whether you're a seasoned netizen or just curious about the odd personalities that make the online world so fascinating, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get out of the loop together. Before we dive in again, as usual, quick reminder, the stream is for discussing and learning. The stream is in no way encouraging bullying or harassment. So, today we have a very special target. We're just going to name him now. It's Target. And our first target is Rollo Tomassi. So I'm basically using this guy as a stepping stool because he's not that important in the grand scheme of things, even though he wants to be so bad. Rollo Tomassi is a man that's a big face in the manosphere community, if you know what that is, which is basically this community of men that believe that they don't need women or dislike women. So people such as the men's rights activists or incels or the MGTOW, so men going their own way, and pickup artists, any of those groups are pretty much considered the manosphere, and they're part of a bigger whole called the Redpill. The Redpill is a movement that believes that they are following everything in truth. And a lot of times, if you actually look at their content, it's not. There are some that try to tell men to improve themselves, but I noticed for a lot of the content that the manosphere puts out is the complete opposite. Is actually wasting your time by telling you that women are the problem, and you should say forget all these whores, I guess. Even though it does not help you. That was just a nice little introduction as to what the manosphere is for anybody. But yeah, like I said, Rollo Tomassi is somebody who basically sees themselves as the Godfather of the manosphere, mostly because he created a book called The Rational Male about, I don't know when it came out. Don't really care. I'm not about to look it up. But basically, his book talks about marriage and how it's become hard to date in modern society. Now how old is he? He's 55. He's married. He has, I think, one child. It makes little sense, to be complaining about things like this, in the way that he does, in the fashion he does, and the people that he collaborates with, such as Fresh and Fit and Donovan Sharp, which one of those I want to talk about in the future, but we're going to stay on the path of what we're doing now and keep it on this guy. So let's get into the Rational Male, since I know you're probably asking, what is that? Right? So I've looked at the preview of the book. I'm not about to read the whole book because it's a lot of nonsense, honestly. So here we go. So in this book, pretty much there's multiple takeaways, sections that you could take out of it. Rollo Tomassi talks about a thing called one-itis. That's one thing. It's the concept of there's no the one. He wants you to believe that you should have an abundance mindset, that nobody in their life has somebody that's just yours and you're just them. And like this says right here, this is somebody else's article. But Rollo suggested this in, let me go back up here. In short, one-itis refers to men who obsess over a single specific woman. So you would say that a man suffers from one-itis when he loses his mind for one woman and thinks she's so awesome that he must absolutely be with her or he's ruined. I agree. You shouldn't necessarily give up your whole life for one person. Absolutely. But we'll get into that. The secret to relationship power: don't need her. Basically, what that means is the person who needs the other person the least controls the outcome. And this is where it gets funky. Obviously, in a relationship, you should be a team. You shouldn't have the mindset that, oh, I need you more or you need me more. You're pretty much basically trying to control the situation and have the person depend on you. That's yucky. It's yucky, super yucky, and extremely toxic, honestly. But there's plenty of people in the manosphere that believe this is the way that you should live. Don't just be yourself, grow. I agree with that concept. The plate theory. Now, this is where it's something that's specific for Rollo himself. Plate theory, at its essence, equates plates with women and says that men should not commit to a single woman and instead keep their options open. So I know pretty much Rollo basically says that you should keep your relationship experience non-monogamous until you're about 30 to 35, and you should date consistently with other people. Now, that's a good idea, but also a bad idea, because how do you ever learn how to stay in an actual committed long relationship if you're not ever giving it the chance? It's a bad idea, realistically. Like, yes, if you can be single, if you are single, there's no problem with dating and openly, as long as you're communicating. But a lot of people in the manosphere, not saying Rollo specifically, a lot of people in the manosphere, they also say you should just lie to them, because women lie, apparently, a lot. So if you watch Fresh and Fit, that's what you'll get at least. So let's see what else. Unplugging and taking the red pill. So Rollo says that there are typical stages of the red pill awakening: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And what they're pretty much saying when they talk about the red pill, it's you're in denial about what's going on in the dating sphere. You get upset about it. You try to keep some of those old beliefs, as it says. You get very upset about it, and then you accept it, and you start to focus on yourself, which would be fine if most of these people actually focused on themselves. Men's market value increases, women's decreases. I think this is a person by person thing. And this is another thing that the manosphere continues to do, is that they consistently believe that you should. They consistently believe that the correct way to look at things is to overgeneralize. They generalize everything. They generalize and believe all women value decreases, even though you can look at plenty of women whose value increases as they get older, and plenty of men whose value decreases. I could say, for a good example, there's plenty of people that are like, I don't want to date women while they're younger, and that's why they don't want to be monogamous, is because these same people believe women aren't going to stay committed. So they're not going to stay committed while they're younger, and you'd rather date and get married when you're in your 30s or 40s. How does their value decrease? That's my question. That would be my question. They would always say, oh, she's less hot, et cetera, et cetera. And then you'll find out that a lot of groups in the manosphere advocate for things like talking to children. So, and they'll say, oh no, 15, 16, I think, like Sneeko, people like Sneeko believe that, that the age of consent is fine as long as you ask their parents. But I think anybody that's not a weird creep would disagree. How to keep a woman's interest. That's something that Rollo goes into in a lot of his videos, which we'll see if we can go over a few. I'm not going to sit and dwell on them too long. Shit tests. Women test men to determine one or more of these factors. His whole book, his whole channel is about testing women. So the Alpha Buddha. I'm not even touching that. Rollo Tomassi Iron Rules. Frame is everything. Control the frame. Don't give the impression you are consciously doing so. Yep. Never be vulnerable. Never just be a human. Yep. 2, never share your sexual partner's count. Tomassi does, and in the book, it's 40. Nice. 3, don't wait for women who make you wait. That goes into, I don't know why it would matter, but if you like the person and you're dating them because you like them, but okay. 4, don't ever live with a woman you're not marrying. While you're not marrying. Either you're married or you're going to within 6 months. Like I said, these are all of the things that are usually brought up by these people are case by case, person by person. And so because of that, I want to get into his channel. And with the manosphere, something that I find very interesting about them is before you even got to start the video, before you start any of these videos, well, you can look at some of the titles first off. The worst mistake you can make when you're around women. Don't do this. Why do women hate vulnerable men? Oops. Closed it. How men can beat women at their own game. Why men should always be the prize. I want to say that something I've noticed a long time ago about the manosphere is a lot of their stuff, even though it should be about learning, becoming more aware about relationships. Sure, this does this, but most of it is all based on fear tactics, and it preys on young men that have no experience with dating or very little. And so they're afraid. They say, oh, I want to get better at this. I'm very frustrated with trying to talk to girls that I like. You'll notice that most of their comments are young men that are absolute hero wars. Wonderful. So, like I said, you'll notice that most of the comments are people that are afraid. Don't try to change your girl. Just change the girl. Remember, fellas, never tell women what you learn in these spaces. Great example of a true. That's not even something that's not important. Women hate men with options. Men with options cannot be controlled. Suddenly, he's breaking up with her. It's got to be something in the video. But like I said, all of it is all fear tactics. A lot of men crapping on each other about not to date, no date this woman because she's been ran through, but they have no idea what the woman is doing. Never had an interaction with the woman. And that's the standard interaction with the manosphere. Let me see if I can hop into a video that's kind of shorter and I can get a good idea as to what Rollo talks about more so. So I've seen a few videos by him, but let's see. It was one of them. Let's go back. Love the ads. Love the ads, people. Love the ads. Great thing I'm editing this, right? Absolutely. By 30, they have 100 body count. It's not easy for men to sleep around like all women can. There was one comment I saw earlier that it said something along the lines of women's body. Oh yeah, it was just this one. I'm tripping. I just read it. But the fact that they think the majority of women are having a 100 body count by 30 is they don't live in reality. They truly do not live in reality. In all scenarios, Chad always wins in a godless society. And then they fear Chad more than anything. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Okay, this ad go away. Shoo. Hello.
Time to help people customize and save with Liberty.
Wonderful.
A lot of people value money. This is guys and girls.
Just want to give Ryan Stone, thank you for making me aware of this guy. I just want to give credit where it's due, but I don't know who this dude was, but I'm learning fast who this guy is. Let's see if I can put him on. Here we go.
Problem with the manosphere is they're saying, okay, women are really promiscuous now. Women are earning half the bread. Women are doing this, that, and the other. So what you need to do is out-earn her. You may as well take advantage of the promiscuous culture with the group of women that are going to go and sleep around while you can, and then you just pick a virgin and settle down when you've got enough money 15 years later. And it's like, number one, if you've just spent 15 to 20 years sleeping around with the kind of women that you pour scorn on, do you think that's going to put you in the right mindset to actually be a loving and devoted father by the time you meet a woman you want to commit to? You're probably going to have some bitterness towards women if you've been interacting with the kind of women that are creating this culture you don't like. Also, 15 to 20 years is a long time to be learning.
I kind of agree with him. If you're interacting with these same women that you say you don't like, you're obviously going to have a negative outcome. Like, and I'm not going to pause it for too long, but it's the same thing when they complain about women getting with Chad, accountability, et cetera, et cetera. That's accountability on self. You're dealing with women that you think are disgusting or gross and then complaining about it.
Okay, so that's a long time to be lonely. Okay, first off, I get who this guy is. Somebody's got to bring this up. Somebody give me the name of this dude. Anyways, I'll pull it off the Twitter here in just a second. But I was just made aware of this. I don't know who this guy is, but the rationale is exactly the same. Meaning that like the idea that guys are going out there fucking a lot because they're taking advantage of some sort of promiscuous culture is like patently false. Mm-hmm. Most guys aren't doing this. Okay, yeah. The top 4.5%, the Justin Wallace, the Jason Momoas, the Jack Reachers, if they're of the mind that they want to do that, that's an option that they could do because they have that sexual selectivity. But the problem that I have with this is they think that the manosphere or the red pill is teaching guys to just go out and bang random. They always come at me like for like plate theory. Plate theory has nothing to do with fucking anything on two legs. Okay, it has to do with sexual selectivity, abundance mindset, and dating like a fucking adult, which is non-exclusively. So that
multiple things about that. The red pill, yes, they very much, at least people like Fresh and Fit, they absolutely tell people to go bang as many women as you can because that's what makes your market value higher as a man, apparently. And what did he just say? Let me go back. He's
with sexual selectivity, abundance mindset, and dating like a fucking adult, which is non-exclusively. So
and dating like an adult is non-exclusively. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Not ridiculous at all.
People get me confused with Myron when he talks about like fuck 50 chicks before you like settle down kind of thing. It's not, I would never make that illustration, but I would say this is that you need to spin plates up until a point where you're right around like say at 30, 35, somewhere. Don't consider monogamy until you get to that point because you've got girls who are 23 years old making 15,000 a month at a strip club, or these girls that you like, we just said she was a 6 or you said she was a 4 or 5, making that kind of scratch in fucking Miami. Okay. Well, when guys see that and they see women at sort of the apex of their power, which she is, I don't know, maybe she looks like she's about 23, maybe I'm 24, somewhere around. I'm guessing, but that's the kind of money that she's making in Miami as a Miami stripper, probably a booby trap. But anyway, so when you see something like that, and these guys are like, well, you need to settle, find a good woman and settle down. I'm saying, well, women are more educated right now. They make more money right now, and even if they're not making $15,000 a month, and we're like you brought this up, you said, well, women need to like find something more like I don't know, intrinsically inherently rewarding, or find something you want to be a mother, they want to be a good housewife, whatever, or $15,000 a month. So.
But like this is completely disingenuous too. I think most women do want to get married. Most women do want to have a family. I don't think majority of women, right? Which the problem with this is everybody in this community believes that all women just want to be OnlyFans models. Like it's not the case. That's not even a percent of women. It's like 1%, if not less. But I'll let them keep going.
For $15,000.
Well, that's what happens if you remove God. Because when you remove God, now what's next thing you value money? Yeah. The only thing that stops you from valuing money is God. Because a lot of people value money. This is guys and girls. When you lose perspective of God and how much you value God, you're going to sell yourself for money.
But here's the thing: I can be 22 years like all these girls. You've been on whatever podcast. These girls on whatever podcast, they have one of them said a 9 body count or whatever. These girls are on OnlyFans, and they want to say, well, you know what? I made a lot of money from the time I was 18 till I was 28, and guess what? I found God at 28 years old, and now I'm multi-millionaire.
Hell no.
Now I'm good.
Hell no.
Right? I stick the landing.
But yeah, so they can say that, but what's going to reward them is the guys.
Also want to make it clear, right? That him bringing that up, most women that are doing OnlyFans are not going to get that much money. They're not even going to get a percentage of really a career, right? Most of them do it just to get extra income because our economy is terrible. But most of them are not going to make bank. They're not going to be millionaires. They're not even going to be getting $100,000 within that whole career that they have, even if it's over years. We'll let it go.
That crap. The Christian trad dudes are like, oh, she's changed, she's reverted, like that red hair. Oh, she's different. Yeah, like bro, no, don't be a white knight. Don't say these. Sadly, a lot of Christian guys have that mindset. Oh, she's Christian now, so she's changed. Like, bro, you're gonna learn the hard way really fucking quick. So I'm not gonna
shit on your religion. I understand. I get it. I wrote a book on religion. I got it. But you do see how convenient that is.
Oh,
you see, like people get me. They'll say, well, let's say, well, Rollo, don't you think these girls could be sincere in their conversion to Christianity at 29 years old? And yada yada yada. I'm like, I'm not doubting their sincerity. I think they're probably 100% sincere about it. They would probably take a polygraph test, and are you sincere about your conversion to faith, whatever? I'm sure they would pass a polygraph test. I'm not about sincerity. I'm about the convenience, like the timing for this is like, where was this fucking, sincerity when you're 18 to 28 years old?
I said on the podcast when we were with Michael, and I even said for the girls, like, they're all talking about how they want to get married. I'm like, be careful, guys, because these girls are going to be a hoe, and then they're going to get married and have kids, so don't fall for it. And then one of the girls are trying to get mad at me, and the other girl, I forgot her name, the one that had a bunch of tattoos, she was like, wait, no, he's actually right, because I was a hoe. I was all these guys, and now I want to have kids. I want to be a wife, but now these guys don't want to take me seriously, so he is right. And then all the girls, they're
I'm sure some youth pastor will wife you up just any minute now.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But yeah, I mean, dude, but these guys are learning the hard way that these girls are not.
Let me ask you this. Okay, this is just a hypothetical.
Sure.
Okay, so this is just maybe it's a philosophical question. Do you think that if a girl goes through her hoe phase, right, 18 to 28 years old, party years, whatever, she goes through her hoe phase, right, and then she has, let's just say she's sincere about it. She says, you know what, I want to get right with God, and I'm going to make all the guys that come after, they're going to jump through some hoops, and they're going to have to prove to me that they're, whatever. Do you think that if a woman has, like, say, let's just round it off, says a 30 body count in the last, like, from 18 to 28, right, and that predisposes her to not having a good, according to statistics,
No copyright.
not having a good marriage, marital instability, divorce, blah, 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 all that stuff. Do you think that her conversion to Christianity would erase all of that?
Fuck no.
All that.
No, dude, no. It's on your criminal record for life.
Okay, so same thing. Does that erase everything that the woman has done? No, it doesn't erase anything that a man has done. Right. At the end of the day, it also is something that this whole community teaches you. Okay, if they had a whole phase, if this is in the past, et cetera, then it should matter. Because I get it to a degree when they say, oh, the past shows the future. But when it's something like this, and when it's something like this, it shouldn't matter. Like when you meet somebody, and if you're liking them, you shouldn't instantly, you hear a body count or something like that, you're like, oh, they're still a whore, they're still a slut, et cetera, et cetera. Who cares? Really, you should just go off. If you're trying to get in a relationship and actually want it to work, you should actually just try to let the relationship work and see what they show you off of their actions now, opposed to the past. Because there's plenty of things that men, including myself and every other man, every person that has done in the past that they're ashamed of, or, they wouldn't do today. So
it's like, already. That's fine. Well, because that's the mentality. Right?
Yeah, these try guys. Yeah, I know. I'm not.
I'm born again. I'm a new creature. I'm a new creation. So all that shit when I was fucking guys from 18 to 28 right now, you should not have anything. Why are you so concerned about body count? I'm having new faith.
Bro,
that's the by the way, that's the self.
Yeah, that's their sales pitch. Yes, correct. And a lot of guys who don't know any better, who don't experience it, they will hop straight into it. The hardcore Christian guys. Oh, she's a Christian.
But they have to, because if they don't, then are you a real Christian? God's forgiven them.
all right, I think I've seen enough from this video. Let's do one more video. See what he talking about. Let's see what he talking about. Why do women hate vulnerable men? That's 25 minutes. That's not gonna work. Why should men never try to win over a reluctant woman? Modern women fail to be happy. Sure.
Picture this. You're sitting at home alone watching YouTube videos, wondering why you can't find the motivation
Just love better help.
things you need or want to do, or
Adult children, always remember that. Women, let me
all that it entails.
Baby girl gotta get muted for a second. Adult children, always remember that, gentlemen. I mean, what they treat women like their children. They treat women like their children, and then they're not people. Happiness is not a state of being. Happiness is an emotion. Like all emotions is here today, gone tomorrow, and maybe you get some next week too. That's fine. Good Lord. Don't you guys just love YouTube ads? I love them, especially BetterHelp. Fantastic. Even YouTube knows that you need to get therapy if you're watching this stuff.
The 2024 Kia Sportage was built for adventure. Sportage offers unmistakable style, plus all the comfort and space you crave with class-leading cargo room.
I'm gonna turn this ad block back on.
And available driver assistance features make it stand out among other compact crossover SUVs. Click now to view our inventory.
Kill me.
I would say every woman should know that happiness is a proximate goal, not an ultimate goal. Yeah, good luck selling that.
I would say every woman should know that happiness is a approximate goal, not an ultimate.
I think you're right. I agree with that. Rational agent. The thing is like, you're never, You can't sell self-help
Wonderful.
on impermanency. Okay, you can't sell. You won't be selling Prozac. You won't be able to get prescriptions for antidepressants and Adderall and lithium. Yes, you don't sell those things if women don't believe that there's something functionally wrong with them because they can't achieve and maintain contentment. Now, here's how you, ladies, where am I? Which one is it? This one.
Men are also on prescriptions.
Ladies, if you would really like to be content, learn this very simple lesson. There's no such thing as contentment. Simple as that. Happiness is a proximate goal, not an ultimate goal. You don't be happy. You will never, ladies, I'm going to get really, really negative with you. You will never be happy. Ladies, you will never, ever, ever, ever be happy. And that's a good thing because that's contentment. Okay. Happiness is not something we are or we be. It is something that we do because happiness.
These are the people that want you to be your better self. It's telling them that the happiness, you'll never be happy. Okay.
The approximate outcome, not an ultimate outcome. You do things that make you happy. You don't go places and find some nirvanic state where you be happy, you do happy. Because emotions are meant to prompt you from one state to another. Usually it's for survival or it's for reproduction. Okay. So
there's a ton of things that can make you happy in life. There's nothing that, what he's saying makes any sense for survival or reproduction. I agree that you should do things that make you happy. You should find things that make you happy. Absolutely. But I don't even gotta explain it. It's stupid.
we're happy because it's something that is going to help us survive, or it's something that's going to help us fuck. Those are really the two things. Now you can make the build on top of that with more complex emotions and more. Because
if I'm playing video games, I'm not getting asked for playing the game, dog. And I'm not going to live from playing the game. If I'm hanging out with my boys, if you're hanging out with other men, how does it do either of those? It's and like I said, I know he took I think he has a bachelor's in psychology, and yet he still just, like I said, he knows what's going to trigger these young men. So it doesn't matter.
define it however you want to. Things make me happy, right? I don't do happy. Like I like playing guitar. That makes me happy to be playing guitar. I don't go, oh, I play guitar, therefore I have entered the state of blissful happiness. No, I am happy while I'm doing it, and then I move on to the next activity. That's something that is intrinsically rewarding. Okay. Now, anxiety, sadness, depression, those emotions also have the same fucking function. They are proximate. They are meant to say, you know what? This is an unsustainable state. We're not going to survive if we don't get the fuck out of here. I am anxious. I am angry. I am whatever the emotion is that prompts you from one state to the next. That is a proximate goal or a proximate outcome. You don't do happy. You do happy. You don't be happy. You're not depressed. You're doing depressed. So there you go.
Isn't that the same reason they tell when you retire, you're
Like I said, I don't think you do have an ultimate goal. You're moving towards an ultimate goal. You want to, that's the whole point of the whole red pill realistically, right? It's to try to better yourself so you have the ultimate goal of attaining these emotions for a long state. You want to be better. You want to work out. You want to get a good education. You want to get good skills so that you have this ultimate goal of happiness. Yes, you'll have other states, but it is an ultimate goal overall. Same with women, and when it comes to dating or when it comes to anything in their everyday life. But like I said, they want to make everything as a playbook as to how to date, how to interact with these people. When you're thinking too hard, you're thinking way too hard.
you're older to get a hobby.
Yes,
Yeah.
because there's a Japanese word. It's called ikigai, and that ikigai is, I believe the literal translation is a reason to live. The things that you do that make life worth living. Like they turn it into like sort of like Zen functional thing. But but from a psychological perspective, it's true. Okay, there are things that you find intrinsically rewarding. Like for instance, you want to know why Brett Favre played football for as long as he did, and then he came out of it, or after the Patriots, he could have, but he didn't. He took it. Gronk said, "Let's go down to fucking Florida." Yeah. It's funny. Gronk retires the same day. When they walk off the field, even if you gotten your whole hand fucking Super Bowl, the process to market by saying this, which is the reason why you're depressed is because you haven't moved from one state to the next. You need to figure out what you want to do, and that's what it is. So when people say, well, the biggest lie we have, so the biggest lie we've ever sold women is the idea that they can find this permanent state of fucking blissful, joyful happiness. Fuck you. That's a bad.
Nobody is selling that, especially in today's society. Nobody is selling that. Everybody is depressed. Everybody hates the economy. Everybody hates talking to each other. So I don't think anybody is selling that. Nobody is selling that. Even the ones they call Disney girls. Nobody believes that, right? But everybody tries. You should still try to aim to get that. You should still try to get that. They try to tell men this exact same thing, that you should aim to get things, but it's something wrong when they tell women to do the exact same thing. Now, if you want women to be in an eternal state of depressedness and dependence, they're not going to be happy. Like, if you want to push them to that, they're not going to be happy. That's exact. And that just causes more issues for both groups. So I am done with talking about Rollo. I don't really care about his channel. He is, just like I said, just a stepping stool to basically introduce this community, because I want to get into other people. Because he's already fallen to irrelevance, like fell out with Fresh and Fit and most of the other ones that are actually prominent and actually relevant. So yeah, and since I brought up Fresh and Fit, that is a good way to pivot. So our buddy who hung out with Fresh and Fit, you know, the biggest, I'm pretty sure they're the biggest platform when it comes to the black manosphere, quote unquote black manosphere, even though they're very we're not going to say the word, but they're very anti-black in a lot of ways. Let me pull this up because I don't want that crazy pop up. Let me do a little inspect element so I can get rid of this picture because I don't want this to get me banned. All right. So your buddy Rollo made a message right here, a tweet. Successful guy equals guys who don't F, who got a woman via money and stability. Loser, exciting guy who fucks in spite of having no money or stability. Usually better looking, better lover than successful guy. Then successful guy. This is some other guy, gays N-word, who responded. Successful guy. Guys who don't dodge JSTLK. Loser, cowardly guy who dodges JSTLK in spite of being on X all day, usually named Rollo. So it was some guy that apparently wanted to debate Rollo. I don't know the whole backstory of that. Let me close inspect element. What am I doing? Then this crazy random X account showed up and said, first mistake is thinking I'm on X all day. Second is thinking I am dodging anything. Third mistake is thinking I take any of this seriously. What did it mean I am on X all day? This is a different guy, isn't it? Different guy. So people dig deep and they realize that a lot of things that this Nigel guy talks about is exactly like Rollo. Everybody come to find out, I found this from everything. Come to find out, this is his alt account, obviously. Now I found this out through Tree of Logic, a YouTuber who talks about a lot of she's a political commentary channel mostly, and social commentary, but they dug deeper into the account. Did you mean to reply with your alt? It tried to hurry up and delete everything. Didn't work because everybody found all this already. So let's just see some of these nice messages. You are a better male incel. If you were black, you would be perfect on a plantation. Friends with Fresh and Fit, by the way, and Donovan Sharp. They need a plantation to pick some cotton. Nothing has changed. As far as I can see, you got no pull here, nig. Learn your place, boy. It's on a plantation. You belong on a plantation. It's not required, and no one is racist. The point is that song just sounds more beautiful in a plantation than a baseball stadium. Everything has its place. Blatant racism. Oh, yeah. You see George Floyd. You know it's going to be great. He is all mad because he slid into my DMs and he had to pay like everyone else. The racist white boy is upset now because I rejected him. It's called a simple conversation. I would do the same thing at a bar, baseball game, or a grocery store. Doesn't mean I want to fuck you. To think otherwise is extremely naive. Negro slave. White privilege states I can use 2 words. Kid Rock 101. Beautiful. Well, isn't that interesting? And all this time I thought he was just a simp loser. He just continued to say a bunch of racist stuff in the comments. We'll move on though, you know. The same guy that says don't drool over women, don't do all this extra stuff, right? Don't keep your value above theirs. Keep an abundant mindset. Same guy under these women's comments in this comment section talking about beautiful, 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 beautiful lady. Stunningly beautiful. Damn, you are beautiful. So, as you can see, and these are the safe for work ones. Safe for work ones. So, our boy Rollo Tomassi tells people to live a certain life, but can't live it himself. He notes. Let me one thing. Notes. This is a dominatrix page. He's married also. I'm not going to go into the Brittany Venti situation. She has a video on her channel herself. You can go check it out. Much longer, much in depth. It's her own experience, and you can see it yourself. But his biggest crime, our buddy Rollo, his biggest crime is being a horny clout demon. So, oh, my bad, because I said clout demon. That's because he believes that like I said, he's the godfather of the red pill. He made the red pill in his eyes. So, because he made a crappy book. And I'm not going to click this. I'm trying to get it on with some Twitter dominatrix. That's more stuff in there. Simping. I'm not clicking that. And this, today accidentally posted porn of a white chick sucking up that, right? And I have this exact thing that he accidentally reposted right here, because I'm not going to open that, right? Rollo Tomassi reposted, cheating white mommy dropping by to service her bull. Wait for the end, you'll see the ring. Looks like she's done sucking and ready for the king at that point. And you know that Rollo is somebody that tells you to not be a weak male who worships other men, but you should follow men, be better, do the better thing, and be bigger, whatever, etc. Right? You get my point. Even though I just stuttered, you get my point. Just like the rest of the manosphere, they tell you to be bigger, better, braver, be the most masculine man you can be. But I don't know. I'm not going out of my way to watch somebody suck BBC. Not doing it. Not doing it, right? It's like something in the manosphere. It continues to show that most of them have these weird kinks of other men dominating what they feel to be their women, right? It's weird. It's weird. I wouldn't do it. And it's a great amount of hypocrisy that I will always find hilarious. But I'm a slow it down, and I'll basically just get down to the manosphere is just a group of people who are extremely hypocritical. They use these young, depressed and lost men to get money out of their fear, and I just think it's gross. And I'm gonna leave it at that. The video is getting kind of long, so like I said, this is just a stepping stool for the next person I want to talk about, which is Donovan Sharp. He might not be the exact name person, but he's the next person in the manosphere. And thanks for getting in the loop with me.